There are a few things that I am looking forward to Second Amendment-wise in the legislations of several states here in 2024, and I'm going to tell you about one, and at the end I'll tell you about who I believe will be the next constitutional carry state. There's a race going on right now with two states. So this could be a good year. Before I jump into it, I want to thank the sponsor of the video, and that's Blackout Coffee. Guys, we have the best coffees, teas, and hot chocolates, minimum to no acidity. We take pride in developing our roasts to get rid of all that, and we do it as clean as possible. Our loose leaf teas have several flavors. Our hot chocolates, again, several flavors. Coffees are over 30 flavors. Check us out, blackoutcoffee.com/GNG. Huge announcement. Many people wrote back to me, reached out to me after our initial campaign to join the Blackout Coffee ownership team. Well, we're ready to announce that there is another one planned, and if you want to get your reservations in, link is down below. Thank you all for your support. Some big things coming from Blackout Coffee in 2024. All right, so let's talk about one of the things that I am looking forward to, and that is Nebraska telling the federal government, you shall not infringe here. A Second Amendment Preservation Act. It's carried over from last session. It's legislative bill, or LB 194. Here it is on the screen. I'm going to read it to you because it's only like 3 full pages, and it's phenomenal. It says, a bill for an act relating to government to adopt the Second Amendment Preservation Act and to provide severability. Be it enacted by the people of the state of Nebraska. Sections 1 through 6 of this act shall be known and may be cited as the Second Amendment Preservation Act. The legislature finds that the right to keep and bear arms is a fundamental individual right that shall not be infringed. 2, it is the intent of the legislature in enacting the Second Amendment Preservation Act to protect public employees, including law enforcement officers, from being directed through any federal firearms law in effect on or after the effective date of this act to violate their oath of office and individual rights affirmed under the Second Amendment to the Constitution of the United States and Article 1, Section 1 of the Constitution of Nebraska, pursuant to and in furtherance of the principles of federalism enshrined in the Constitution of the United States, the federal government shall not commandeer public employees to participate in the enforcement or facilitation of any federal firearms law. This right to be free from the commandeering hand of the federal government has been most notably recognized by the Supreme Court of the United States in 1997 in Prince v. United States, when the court held the federal government may neither issue directives requiring the states to address particular problems, nor command the state's officers or those of their political subdivisions to administer or enforce a federal regulatory program. And the anti-commandeering principles recognized by the Supreme Court of the United States in Prince v. United States are consonant with the advice of James Madison, who in Federalist No. 46 advised a refusal to cooperate with the officers of the Union in response to either unconstitutional federal measures or constitutional but unpopular federal measures. For the purpose of the Second Amendment Preservation Act, federal firearms laws means any federal act, law, order, rule, or regulation regarding a firearm, firearm accessory, or ammunition if the substantial equivalent of such act, law, order, rule, or regulation does not exist under the law of this state. And public employees means any state officer or any official, employee, or agent of any state agency or political subdivision, except when necessary to comply with an order of the court. No agency or political subdivision of this state or public employee acting in such employee's official capacity shall participate in any way in the enforcement of any federal firearms law or utilize any public funds to engage in any activity that aids a federal agency, federal agent, or corporation providing services to the federal government in the enforcement of or any investigation pursuant to the enforcement of any federal firearms law. Section 5. Any public employee who knowingly violates the Second Amendment Preservation Act shall, for the first violation, be liable for a civil penalty not to exceed $3,000. Such civil penalty shall be assessed in a civil action brought for the purpose and shall be remitted to the state treasurer for the distribution in accordance with Article 7, Section 5 of the Constitution of Nebraska. A civil penalty assessed and unpaid under this section shall constitute a debt to the state of Nebraska, which may be collected in the manner of a lien foreclosure or sued for the recovery in any proper form of action in the name of the state of Nebraska in the district court of the county in which the agent or employee resides or owns property. And B, for a second or subsequent violation, be guilty of a Class 1 misdemeanor. An action under this section shall be brought within 2 years of the alleged violation in the district court of the county in which the violation occurred or in which the agent or employee resides. And finally, for any violation of this section, the Attorney General or the court attorney shall bring and prosecute the appropriate civil or criminal proceeding. Section 6. A political subdivision shall not adopt a rule, order, ordinance, resolution, or policy under which the political subdivision intentionally violates the Second Amendment Preservation Act. When notified of an alleged violation of this section, the Attorney General or County Attorney shall institute a civil action in the District Court of the county of such political subdivision to determine if the violation has occurred. The court may grant preliminary or permanent injunctive relief as appropriate. Upon a final judicial determination that such violation has occurred, the court shall enter an order directing the state treasurer to withhold all state funds from such political subdivision for the fiscal year following the year of such determination. Such withheld funds shall lapse to the general fund. And finally, Section 7. If any section of this act or any part of any section is declared invalid or unconstitutional, the declaration shall not affect the validity or the constitutionality of the remaining portions. So, fine the individual officer or remove funding for an entire year for the city, town, or county that decides to do this. The Second Amendment Preservation Act. This is one of the best laws states have been passing. Yes, the Biden administration is suing Missouri and going after Texas for their versions of the Second Amendment Preservation Act. It shows you a lot. It tells you a lot when your federal government sues a state for protecting the rights of their citizens, from stopping them from infringing. It's amazing, right? Nothing in these SAPA laws stops the federal government from still operating. Federal law enforcement can still enforce federal laws. However, they can't use local or state police or sheriffs to do it. And that, folks, has the feds all in a muck because there are not enough of them to do it. All right, let me know what you think about... Ooh, almost forgot. I promised I would tell you about the race to constitutional carry for 2024. There are 2 states in the running to become the first. Number 1 is Louisiana, and the second one is South Carolina. And I know for a fact, after speaking to one of my friends in Louisiana who is intimately involved, we'll say that Louisiana is looking to win that race, especially with a new governor taking the helm, who said that he would pass constitutional carry. So a lot of things happening. You want to stay in the know? Subscribe to this channel. I will keep you in the loop. And also hit that bell icon so you're notified of when I put out new content or go live, because sometimes things get broken immediately. And if you don't have that notification bell turned on, you don't really find out about it. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Check out the links down below for Blackout Coffee. And thank you for supporting our company. Appreciate y'all. Be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care.